I'm like, yo, is this really happening? Like, is this is this a dream? Like, and I'm getting a night put out on me right now in my own damn car. Like, I'm gonna be on 5 o'clock news as a Tinder date stab, basically. I'm gonna be another stats. I'm gonna be on the 5 o'clock news, basically. Young man stabbed by Tinder date. What's up, y'all? Welcome to my channel. My name is Kavion, and if you are a new subscriber, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, you my dog, and I appreciate you. Yeah. Alright, so obviously judging by the title, y'all, my Tinder date tried to cut me up. In my stomach. So it took me a minute to actually decide if I wanted to make this video, because I really don't like putting my business out like that. But this story is just so crazy. Like, I feel like I just need to tell it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, it's so much going on in this story. That's why I decided to go ahead and actually make this a story time. I normally don't do story times, but here we is. This happened this was in December of 2020, and I decided to go on Tinder and download the app and use it. I was feeling kind of down, a lot of us was actually still stuck in the house because of the corona and all that. So I decided to go ahead and actually download Tinder, and yeah, big mistake, but I decided to go on there. When I went on there, I just started swiping, because when you're bored and I don't know, maybe you just want somebody to talk to too, you just go on there. So I just started swiping. Yo, why is my ring light tripping? Sorry, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's like this little bootleg ring light, y'all. Okay, anyways, I'm off topic. I still started swiping, at anybody. And so I did that for a little while, and then I got like a message or whatever. So I went on Tinder, I started swiping, and I got a match. And I don't know what to call her, so I don't want to give out her real name. We're gonna just name her Starletta. Yeah, Starletta. So I got a message from Starletta. I know it sounds like a freaking stripper name, I know, because I don't want to give out her name, because I feel like if she sees this, or that person she might be associated with see this video, I know the chances really slim of that person seeing it, because my channel is really not that big. But we're just gonna call her Starletta. All right, so Starletta messaged me. She said hey, and I said what up. So, and then I clicked on her profile, to see how she looked, and first thing I see, she is kind of like blocking her face. So like, she has like a face mask on. I'm wondering why you have a face mask on your dating profile. Okay, whatever, I ignored it. And then she just showing her upper area. So like, I can't really see anything else. It's just this, but this block. So I just see her eyes. I'm like, okay, she got pretty eyes. That's basically the only thing I can see. We did a little chit chatting, and we moved to Snapchat. I think he actually had Snapchat, and then we just moved to Snapchat. Cause Tinder, you gotta open the app to get the message. So I just said it's easier to move on Snapchat. So we moved to Snapchat, and then eventually we just moved to the phone number. It was like really quick, y'all, to be honest. It was just like, hey, what's up? How were you from? Like that. And then we just moved the phone number. Big mistake on my part for getting out my phone number though, in the long run, but I gave my phone number out. And so, we start chatting it up a little bit. She just said, what are you doing? She said, what are you doing, like all the time? And I was like, oh, nothing, about to head to the gym, or doing schoolwork, or, doing other stuff, whatever. And then she was like, oh, okay, you're coming from the gym? And I was like, yeah, I'm about to go ahead and get something to eat. And she said, oh, okay, bring me some. And I was like, in my mind, like, okay, she's playing. How am I gonna bring you tacos? I don't know you. I don't even know where you live at, so I'm gonna bring you tacos. And I'm not a damn Postmate, so I'm not gonna be going bring you tacos. I haven't met you yet. So I just thought she was joking, So I said, ha ha ha, on the way to bring you tacos. And then she texted me back. It was like, how you gonna bring tacos when you know where I live at? So my mom like, okay, if she playing with me bad, you know what I'm saying? But no, shorty was being dead ass. Like, she was really being serious. So I said, don't worry about it. I'm on my way now. And then she was like, FaceTime me right now to prove that you're on your way. And I was like, I'm not FaceTiming you. I haven't even met her yet. I haven't met her through FaceTime, through any video chat. Like, we just been texting, and she wants me to FaceTime her right then and there. No, I'm not gonna do that. And I said, I'm driving. I wasn't driving, I just didn't want to FaceTime right now. And so she was like, HM in the text, And I said, okay. So later on that night, I said, did you want to FaceTime? And then she said, okay. So then I FaceTime her, And I don't know. I don't want to be that person. Like, she just did not look anything like the picture. Like, her face, like, was already blocked, but like, I don't know. It just looked like a completely different person. I kind of felt catfish low key. But even though like her profile, I couldn't really see it anyway. It just, I don't know. I wasn't getting that image into person. So I ignored it. I was just like, okay, I kind of low-key been catfished, but I was like, okay, whatever. So we FaceTime, and I told her, like, were you mad because I didn't bring you tacos? And she was like, yeah, I thought you were really gonna bring me tacos. And I said, how I'm gonna bring you tacos? I don't even know you. I don't know you. Why would I bring you tacos out of nowhere? That's my tacos. Why would I bring you tacos? It makes no sense. So again, I ignored it. I guess that would be a red flag. Yeah, I'm gonna call these red flags because it's gonna lead up to that. So yeah, we're gonna just red flag number 1. And then she just kind of goes ahead and says that she ain't got no food in her house. She was like, she kept saying like, I want some seafood. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. I said, go ahead and make some. And then she was like, how? And I was like, you cook it or buy it. And she said, with what? I said, with money? So I think she was insisting on me sending her some money so she can get some damn seafood. But little does she know, I'm not like that person. So I suggested she go ahead and apply for some damn food stamps. So I said, shorty, you need to go ahead and apply for some food stamps, or you buy some food stamps from somebody. And then she got quiet because I think she was not looking for that answer. But do I look rich to you? Like, what? I don't know. So it kind of got awkward, so I changed the topic. And so we started talking about something else. I think we're talking about TV shows or whatever, just trying to get to know each other. And so suddenly I hear like a baby crying. And so I'm like, is that your baby? And she was like, hold up. So she puts the phone on like a table or a couch or something. I don't know. I couldn't hear nothing. I mean, I couldn't see nothing. And so all of a sudden I hear, baby, I tell you to shut up. And I'm like, I'm like, is child abuse being happening right now? And so she comes back to the phone and she's like, hello? And I was like, did you just hit that baby? And she's like, yeah, that's my nephew. And I was like, how old is he? He 2? I said, he's 2? She said, yeah. I said, and you were beating him? I always beat him. I said, what? You beat a 2-year-old? She said, yeah. I don't know. I felt in a really awkward situation. So I just kind of joked like, I'm gonna call Child Protective Service on you, like as a joke. And she was like, and I said, okay. So at this point, like, I ignored that. And I should not ignore that because these are red flags. It leads up to the craziness. But like, I ignored it because I'm like, okay. So anyways, I just tell her, I think we call it a night because I was tired and I was that was just weird to me. So I said, I'm about to head to sleep. So anyways, fast forward the next day, she FaceTimes me like multiple times. Like, I'm talking about 12 times, like in the morning. When I'm asleep, I'm in a deep sleep. So I don't really hear it, but I seen it freaking 12 missed calls or missed FaceTime calls in the morning. So I'm like, I text her, I said, what's up? Like, why are you FaceTiming me like 12 times? And she was like, oh, I didn't want nothing. I'm like, okay. So red flag number 3. All right. So I ignore that. So I FaceTime her back and she calls and she tells me that she wants to like meet up. She wants to meet today. And I was like, I didn't have nothing going on. I was really bored anyway. So I was like, okay, yeah, we can do something tonight. And so she suggested a hookah thing. And I was like, okay, sure. I don't really do hookah, but I was like, okay, sure. Like, we can do that. I tell her that, I asked her what time should I pick her up. And she like, probably around 7 or 8. And I said, okay, cool. I can pick you up around that time. That was kind of it. And then I said, I'll talk to you maybe an hour before that, just to keep you updated when I'm on my way, or when you send the address or whatever. And she said, okay. Maybe like 2 hours later, she started blowing up my phone. I ignored it because I was doing something, and she like texted me, you better answer his phone now. I said, you better answer his phone now. Who are you talking to? You're not talking to me. Who are you talking to? I don't even know you. I haven't even met you. You acting like we're dating. We're not. I haven't met you yet. I ignore it, and then I contacted her around like 5 or 6 around the time I was supposed to pick her up. And I was like, oh, I just woke up. Like, what's up? Oh, nothing. So I said, okay. So she sent me her address. I go ahead and pick her up. I'm seeing the GPS, and it doesn't look like the best area either. I drive there, and her neighborhood she's, all right, y'all, she in the hood. She in the hood. The hoodity hood. I pick her up. I'm a little sketched out too because, you know, it's late at night and it's just me. So, you know, she could, you know, be planning to rob me and shit. So I don't know. So I'm just sketchy, you know. So I text her and I was like, hey, I'm outside. And then she's like, okay, I'm coming out right now. So she comes to the car and I kind of give her a little hug or whatever. When she gets in the car, tell her, you know, I'm starting to go to hookah place. And she's like, yeah, me too. And so as I'm about to drive off, she kind of like does like a serious face, like, I don't know, like she was like something just like a switch like went off. And then she started looking like across the street. And I said, are you good? And she said, no. And I said, well, what's wrong? She was like, you see that girl over there? And I said, yeah. She said, I beat her up. I said, you what? She said, I beat her up. I said, why did you beat her up? She said, because she was talking about me. And so I said, okay. So I just, it was so random. I was just like, okay. And so then she wanted to get out the car to fight her. And I said, what are you doing? She opens the door and I should fight her again. And I said, for what? Like, you're on a date. You're on a date and you want to fight on your date? So I told her, if she go out there and fight, I'm leave it. Like, I'm not finna just sit here. I just met you and you already trying to fight somebody. So this is red flag number 5, y'all. And I'm adoring it. I don't know what, I was going through something, y'all. I was really like going through something at that time. Cause most time I would have been like, yo, I'm out. Like, you really nuts. Like, you got some issues. You know what I'm saying? She didn't get out the car. She just said, you right. So we end up like going to the hookah place. I ignored that. I don't know how I did, but I ignored it. We get to the hookah place. And she's kind of seems less back to normal, you know. We're talking, we're just kind of conversating, you know. And so we get in the hookah place and, you know, we're having a good time, and she actually seems normal, like, you know. Long story short, we leave the hookah place. And then we get in the car and we just kind of sit in front of the hookah place in my car, and just kind of talk, conversate. You know, I'm trying to get to know her. And then she just kind of starts telling me about her life and how her dad abandoned her and all this other stuff. So she got like daddy issues. And then she starts calling me daddy. And I was like, huh? She was like, yeah, daddy. So I felt a little comfortable a little bit, because I was like, it was just the way she was talking about her dad. And then she switched over and started calling me daddy. So I was like, okay, I don't know if she's looking for a daddy, or I don't know, y'all. I don't know, I ain't your daddy. So we start talking and she starts opening up to me. And she kind of does that same look from earlier when she was about to fight her neighbor. And she was like, I need to tell you something, but don't get mad at me. So instantly I start thinking of the worst scenarios. Oh my gosh, she got herpes, she got STDs or something. I don't know. Like I'm thinking the worst scenarios. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, do you have herpes? And she's like, no, I don't have no herpes. And I was like, okay. Like, I don't know. I think of worst scenarios when someone says like, please don't get mad at me. You know? She tells me that she's wanted. And she got a gun charge. And when she told me, I needed a minute to like digest everything, because I was like, I said, say it again. I said, you said you want it? She said, I want it. I'm wanted, and I was on the news, but it's not my fault though. And so I'm like, my mom, like, how is it not your fault? So she tells me that she owned a gun, and I guess the people she was hanging out with shot somebody with the gun in the head. But the person didn't die. But they were in like a coma or whatever. So the bullet came back to her name, because it's her gun that they used to shoot the person. Yeah. So she's basically, long story short, they ended up putting her picture on the news because they thought she was involved in it. Or not even they thought. I think there's more to it. She's just telling me this. I think she was actually involved in that. But anyway, I'm like, there's the wanted felon in my car, y'all. Like, oh my God.
911, what's your emergency? What?
In my mind, I'm like, I'm deleting Tinder, bro. I'm not going back on this. Like, this is what I get. This is exactly what I get, you know? So she tells me that, and I'm kind of just digesting everything. I'm kind of just speechless, because I'm like, what? You want it? And then she starts telling me how her family wants her to have a baby, and she starts looking at me, and I'm like, a baby? Well, you ain't looking at me for no baby. Like, I don't even know you. And meanwhile, she's 20. She's 20. I'm like, and I asked her, I said, why do your family want you to have a baby? She said, well, my family has kids young. And I said, okay, but you're 20 though. You're 20. You don't have your life together. Like, how do you want to bring a baby and you don't have your life together yet? That's crazy to me. So I felt really uncomfortable too, because I'm like, why are you telling me you want babies? You don't tell your date that you want a baby. Like, that's just so weird. So at this point, I felt really weird and just like uncomfortable, and the vibes started switching like left, you know? So when I'm like uncomfortable, I basically just crack jokes. That's just me. That's just what I do. Cause to like eliminate the awkward situation, I just tell jokes. So maybe this was not the right joke to tell her, but I told her that, ha ha ha, like, I'm gonna turn you in. Like, I didn't say it like that. I can't remember what I exactly said. It was kind of like, it was a joke though. It wasn't serious. I wasn't serious. I don't snitch on people. And if I did snitch on people, why would I tell you that I'm snitch on you? You know, so I was like, haha, I'm gonna drop you off at the police station. You know, I was obviously joking, you know, because it was awkward. It was, you know, it just kind of it turned left. And so she got really serious. She didn't find that funny at all. And she said, you know what? And I said, like, I'm laughing like I'm playing with her, but she wasn't playing with me. And so she had this little purse or whatever. So she pulls it out, and so I'm like, And then she pulls out, I see like a little white thing or whatever. So I'm like, is that a piece of gum? And I was like, what is that? And then she pushed the button, and it goes, shoo. It's a knife. It is a knife. Shorty pulls out a pocket knife on me. And she's like, you're playing with me. And I was like, playing what? She said, you're gonna turn me into the cop? And I said, I'm playing. She said, you're not playing. I said, I'm playing. She said, you're not playing. So she pulls out the knife and was like, I'll cut you. And I said, you gonna cut who? She said, I'm gonna cut you. I said, why? Because you're playing with me. So at this point, I'm like, yo, is this really happening? Like, is this is this a dream? Like, and I'm getting a knife pulled out on me right now in my own damn car? Like, I'm gonna be on 5 o'clock news as a Tinder date stab, basically. I'm gonna be another stats. I'm gonna be on the 5 o'clock news, basically. Young black man stabbed by Tinder date. No, sir. No, sir. I will not. No. Not, absolutely not. So it took me a minute. Like, I was frozen for a second. Cause I'm like, is this really happening? Like, did she just pull a knife out on me? So my first thought, y'all, my first reaction was like, yeah, in her forehead, yo. You know what I'm saying? But then I was like, all right. I started thinking about what my mama said. She was like, don't hit no female. But I was like, this is a different situation, because like, she really brought out a weapon. She tried to cut me. And then my other reaction was like, all right, get out the car, run. But then I was like, what if she starts, you know, jabbing my car and damaging my car on the inside? So I was like, okay. So I did like a quick little. So I did like a little quick roll in my car, you know, kind of, and then leaned open the door. And then I went to the passenger side, and I said, get the hell out of my car. I said, you gotta get out of my car. Like, yeah, get out of my car, bro. Get out of my car. So she pulls the pocket knife in back in her purse and was like, I'm sorry, I thought you were gonna turn me into the cops. I was like, I should turn you in the crazy home, because you're crazy. You're mentally crazy. How you pull a knife out on somebody like that? Like, what, you really crazy? Like, you need to be in a real crazy home. I told her, like, you don't have to, like, catch a bus or something. Like, I ain't take you back to your home. You might set me up when I bring you back home and something. I don't know. So I got in my car. She got out the car, and then I shut the door and I locked it, like, from my passenger side, and I ran in the driver's seat and I locked the door. And then she started like banging on my window. You better take me back home. You better take me back home. I said, absolutely not. You're crazy. You're crazy. You try to cut me. You try to cut me, bruh. I said, I'm not taking you back home. Better catch a damn Uber or a bus. So I get in my car, and at this point, she's making a big scene. There's people from like the hookah place from the outside. They're waiting in line to get in, and they're looking. And I'm like, I just want to get home at this point. Like, I was like, yo, she just ruined my whole night. Like, this is like the worst, like, ever. So I get in the car, and I put that reverse, and I did that little left wheel, and I squirted out that parking lot, y'all. I had to hurry up out of there, man. And so as I'm driving, she's calling me on my phone, and she's like making threats and like, you better come back. How can you do this to me? Like, I'm like, how do you do what? I don't even know you, woman. I don't know you. You crazy. So I get home, y'all. It's late. It took me a minute to reevaluate my mind. Like, did this just really happen? And so I got home, I blocked her, and I deleted the app, obviously. Thanks, Tinder. Thank you, Tinder. So I get home, delete the app, block her, and then the next day I'm getting multiple numbers called from my phone that I'm assuming is her. Because when I answer it the next day. This is the next day. Answer it, and I just hear breathing. I said, what the? So I hang up and I blocked them numbers too. And so I'm like, oh my God, I know it was her. I'm 90% sure it was her. Because I can hear breathing. I can hear like a little heavy chest breath. So I know that was her because I could hear it. I could hear it in the background of the phone numbers. So I blocked those numbers and I said, I'm not using no dating apps ever again. Like, that was the worst experience for me ever. And until this day, I refuse to go on there, and I tell people that are using it, I said, don't go on there. Do not go on those apps, bro. Like, that's the worst thing. I almost got stabbed. So that's about it, y'all. That's the story time of when I almost got stabbed, and just that whole overall bad experience on Tinder. And that is basically the lesson. Don't use Tinder, y'all. All right, you can use dating apps, but don't use Tinder, because you might get a crazy person like that. And I think she might have maybe escaped some like crazy home, something. I don't know, because I ain't never met a person like that in my entire existence life. So, but if y'all enjoy this crazy, bizarre story time, make sure y'all hit that like button. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you guys go ahead and do that so you guys are up to date when the new videos drop. And I will basically see you guys on my next video. And hope y'all have a blessed day. Deuces.